God, that's like an alien head. My drive towards the northwest from the Ojito Wilderness took me through a remote New Mexican desert backwater, a unique part of America where Indian reservations and long, lonely desert vistas provide glimpses into another America. An America where ghosts of the ancient past seem perhaps a little more present, a little more accessible. The landscape is stark and lonely, but enticing nevertheless. It is here, in this region, where we find the epicenter of lost southwestern civilizations. Vanished into the wind of unwritten history, their faint traces left only in the stacked stones, pottery shards, and rock art left behind. It is a place of loss. Lost stories, lost wisdom, lost memories of a time when far more people lived here than do so even today. I'm on my way to a strange place, a badlands as they call it. Its name, the Bisti De-Na-Zin, is derived from the Navajo language. In Navajo, Bisti loosely means an area of shale hills. De-Na-Zin means the cranes, as depicted in area petroglyphs. So we may think of this place mysteriously as cranes in the shale hills. Locally, it is often simply called the Bisti Badlands. The Bisti De-Na-Zin Wilderness area, established in 1984, preserves over 43,000 acres of these badlands where few living things subsist, but ghosts of the distant past persist in the forms of petrified wood, dinosaur bones, and bizarre land formations caused by eons of relentless desert winds. There are no trails here, and few people venture more than a couple of miles from the edge of this eerie region. I intended to get further into this void than most, to step into a place very few humans have ever ventured. Upon my arrival to the Bisti De-Na-Zin, one man wandered into this void in a dust storm, only to emerge from the ether minutes later, proclaiming it to be too scary. I made it to the Bisti De-Na-Zin trailhead, and this trip is already off to a crazy and very weird start. A dust storm has blown in. It's very windy out and it's raining a little bit, so I'm sitting in the car waiting to see if this is going to blow over. When I was getting ready, this guy parked to my left over here, walked up to me, barely speaks any English, asked me if he could follow me into the wilderness because he was scared. And I told him I was going for 2 nights, and he said, "I'm gonna go ahead, I'll see you out there." And then 5 minutes later, he turned around, came back and said it was too scary. And then 5 minutes after that, these other people showed up over here wearing these weird helmet cameras and space suits, and they said they were filming a short film in here about some kind of alien life form, which seems appropriate here. All right, I'm a mile in, and this already is possibly the strangest landscape I've ever been in. It's really interesting and also very kind of spooky. Very strange place. All right, this keeps getting stranger. I zoom in here. It's an alien on the mountain. This looks just like those Mars rover images. That's like an alien head. In the tent, just ate dinner here at the Bisti De-Na-Zin, or maybe it's Bisti De-Na-Zin, I'm not really sure. Anyways, so this place is the most bizarre place I've ever hiked or backpacked in, but it's also very beautiful and a little bit spooky, but it's pretty incredible. The petrified wood is everywhere. All the hoodoos, the weird rocks. It's pretty interesting. But yeah, I'm 4 miles in here. Did 7 miles this morning at the Hoodoos Wilderness, hiking out of there. So that makes 11 miles total for the day, with a 3.5 hour drive in between. My plan tomorrow is, I think, to leave the tent here, pack my day pack, and I want to go way back into this wilderness, get some pretty good miles in tomorrow, to get back in where I'm sure hardly anybody ever goes. Good morning from Bisti De-Na-Zin. I have to check my app, but I think I've been walking for about a half a mile since I broke camp this morning. I left my tent and my big pack there. Got to use my Onyx app to find my way back there, because this place is a labyrinth. I would probably not find it without that, so I have to make sure I got enough juice in my phone to do that. But the goal today is to do a pretty big day. I don't know how many miles it's going to be. I'm guessing 10 to 12, 15, something like that. And then I've also decided to go ahead and pack up camp later this afternoon and hike out and start the drive back to Denver tonight, because I realized I have to be in Denver by 5 o'clock tomorrow. And doing the math last night, I realized that to do that, to camp again in here, I would have to pack up and hike out before dawn. And that just doesn't really add any value to this trip. It doesn't take anything away from today. I still have all the time to do everything I wanted to do today. This could become an issue. Plan was to follow this gully down. I was thinking I would get down in there when that got big enough, but that's now choked in thorn bushes. Chunks of petrified wood. We're gonna bail on this gully, and there's a chance I might have to go way around. Oh. Oh. Okay. That sucked. All these little branches, all these little gullies branch out like tendrils. So to go around, yep. Woo, that's pretty crazy. I'm gonna have to go up and around this way. but we'll find our way. Even if it takes walking a few more miles. I swear some of these rocks look like dinosaur bones. And there are dinosaur bones in the area. That's not. T-Rex skull, I think, was found here in '97. I'll have to double check. It also looks like a koi fish. It's the weirdest stuff around here. There's stuff around here. Ooh, I don't want to fall down that. Let's climb up this thing. All right, out of the jungle. Gonna have to replan my route. Probably means making a wide circle around this way to be safe. It's gonna mean a longer walk, that's okay. That's pretty spooky down in there when you can't get through. This may not be a wise decision, but I'm gonna make another attempt at a gully descent. I know there's a possibility I might have to backtrack. Probably about half mile or almost a half mile down the new gully. So far so good. Getting to the point though where if I do have to backtrack, I'm gonna have to go back where I came from. So, which is I can do. As long as I know I can get out, I'm okay with this. Aside from a little bit of anxiety about whether it goes through, it's a lot of fun. Finally stopped for lunch. Got down out of that treacherousness down into the lower section and should be home free from here. I stopped in the only shade I can find underneath these hoodoos. Gonna have some lunch and some water. And I think I'm within a mile or two maybe of the campsite. Quite the day. the Bisti. That last 4 miles was rough with that strong headwind after having already done about almost 12 miles loop back to the campsite. So it ended up being 19 and a quarter miles total, about 4 yesterday and 15 and a quarter total today. Yeah, one of the strangest, most interesting places I've ever hiked in or backpacked in. I'm glad it's over and I'm headed out. By the way, this is a kind of a part 2 of a 2-part series of my back-to-back backpacking trips in New Mexico. If you haven't already seen the first one, I went to the little-known Hoodoos Wilderness, which is to the southeast of here, a little west of Santa Fe. I did an overnight trip there. If you enjoyed this video, I did a similar type of trip in the Hoodoos Wilderness. So if you enjoyed this one, go back and if you haven't seen that one already, go back and watch the one for the Hoodoos Wilderness. And thanks for watching.